Everyone. So welcome to Team Call. This is a really weird lighting. As you can see, I am in Superhero Mania right behind me. Jen and myself are going to be leading the team call tonight. Nicole is in Collingwood and Melissa is in the prairies doing events. So hi, London. We know that there's a demand for some training on social media, and there's never enough. We could do hours of it. So we wanted to dedicate this 30 minutes to doing a little bit more social media training and like kind of opening it up to the end to see if there's anything else that you guys need us to train on. So Jen and I, after coming back from conference, really both of us have always had an online presence, but we just really started utilizing some of the things that we weren't before, and it really kind of changed our business in the month of October. Jen if you guys have seen on Stephen Millman's page, she was one of the top healthy starts, bringing in, I think, almost 15 orders. I brought on four new reps last month and had over 10 orders. So we've been really just utilizing social media. So I'm going to just go over, I didn't want to go over my presentation again, but if everyone could mute their line, if possible, thanks. So I'm just going to kind of go over a few things about Facebook and more in depth in Instagram. And I hope that's okay with people, but I know people have been building their business through Facebook. It's just not my choice of building my vision, my big vision of my business through Facebook. I still utilize Facebook for my warm market. I am really lucky that I do know a lot of people, and I did build to NMD with mostly people that I know. And I still continue to use it with my warm market. So the content is kind of similar, but a little bit different. I use TeamZ. I know there's a challenge on today on how many new ads you can add in there. So I see Becky Black's in the lead. So if you want to get going and add in some more, definitely. Becky's like, no. Yes, exactly, Janice. We're definitely going to go over that. So I won't go too much into Facebook then. If really the demand is to know more about Instagram. I mean, it's pretty straightforward on Facebook. Kind of some tips. I usually post like really, really good business posts on Friday. A lot of people are on their phones on Facebook anyways on Thursdays and Fridays. And I know that I get a lot of interaction and likes on posts on Fridays. So if you have like a really, really good post, maybe save it to Friday. And I just use it for my warm market. I started following some groups that align with my beliefs. I just kind of get overwhelmed though sometimes with them. So I'm going to share with you on Instagram how I get followers and what a conversation might look like. So I have hired an Instagram company in the past to help me build my followers. It is an authentic, organic way of growing your business. There's nothing, basically how it works is that they log in as you. I don't have time to do it. It saves you time, but I haven't used them since probably about 6 months. So what I have been doing is using hashtags to find people that align with me. And if you have like something that you're passionate about, or if you're wanting to find someone in a specific targeted group. So for me, when I envision my rep that's gonna, make me 100 club, I want them to be healthy. I probably want them to be a mom. I mean, it's not mandatory, but I have a lot in common with moms. I'm really big on personal growth. So, abundance, gratitude, affirmations, success. These are all hashtags I use in my post to help people looking for those things find me. So I typically don't go adding people anymore. I personally just don't have time to sit there and add. I want people to be coming to me. And once I started really researching hashtags and how to use them, that's when I started noticing people that aligned with me and my beliefs and what I like to do find me, not like these men that are asking weird, disgusting questions. um, so you can actually just Google research hashtags. There's a couple different sites that you can go and, you can put like mom, and then it will give you a list of hashtags that moms might be looking for. And different posts, like I'm always posting the Sweet Tribe. That's how we're going to get traction. I keep breaking up. Am I breaking up? No. Okay. Sorry. So yeah, that is what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm not going seeking people. I'm really having success with, at least 4 to 5 ads a day. And that is okay with me right now. I was getting a little overwhelmed when I had the company building the business, because I was trying to keep up with everything. So I'm just putting it out to the universe that this is how it's going to happen. And, the person is going to be drawn to me. So what I do when someone adds me, I always look at their profile. And if it's a private profile, I don't really I just don't have time to, ask questions. I want to know right away if they're going to be somebody that I'm going to align with. So if it's a blocked or private profile, I don't follow them back. But if they have an open profile, I'll go and look at their pictures, see if, they're moms, see if they're into health, see if they're into fitness, see if there's any inspirational posts, see if there's any funny posts. And if I think that, I'll jive with them, I'll add them, I'll follow them back, and then I go right into Frog. I can't believe how my business changed when I just made it simple. I just had simple, basic connecting conversations. Hey girl, how are you? I love your page. Even if the page is like the most boring thing, or not boring, but like it's not great or whatever, but you can see that, she's a really loving mom or whatever. I just start simple. And that's usually my first opening message to someone. When I follow them back, I'll look to see if I've had a conversation with them before, because maybe I forgot before TeamZ and maybe I haven't talked to them in a while. So I'll just say, hey girl, love your page. Usually an emoji. Where are you from? And, they'll get back to me and I'm like, oh my, and sometimes they'll ask where I'm from. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And I'm pretty versed in, a lot of them are in the US. I love college football. My husband loves college football. So most places that people are adding me, I'm like, oh, are you a so-and-so fan? Because college football is huge in the States. And so that might start a conversation. Some people are like, no, I hate football. I'm like, okay, try to find another question. What do you do? Going back to this Frog, that is all I do. And sometimes the pain comes out within the first, couple sentences, but sometimes you have to date them for a while. So that's kind of really what I'm doing. And I am really direct. If I feel that there's an opportunity for me to share the business or the product, I do it right away. I don't try to extend or delay anything. I just go right out and say, I'm not sure if and I'll kind of say a little bit about my story, but I'll also tailor it to whatever their pain is, or like, you know, oh my gosh, a girl that I know has, you know, their little baby has eczema, and this amazing whole food product that I take really helped them. I'm not sure if it would interest you, but I would really just from my heart love to share a short video with you if you're open. And so many times, I mean, probably 100% people say yes. I don't think I've ever had someone say no. It's, you know, getting them to watch it and all that is where the, you know, the follow-up happens. So that's my verbiage. Really, I'm just using frog. Can you go over what frog is? Yes, sorry. Thanks, Nikki. So frog is, I learned that on a training. It was actually a recorded training, but it's from one of the girls in Australia. I forget her name, Melanie Brandt. So where your frog is, and I've heard different variations of it, but frog is, the F is where you're from. R is what do you do recreationally? What do you like to do for fun? That kind of gets weird answers. So you just got to make sure you ask it in a, you know, a relatable way, I guess, because it's kind of weird when you just, oh, so what do you like to do for fun? It kind of can be awkward. Your occupation. So I usually go from R to O, like, what do you do? Recreation, I don't really use until like later on. And goals, or, you know, what goals are actually a really good one to use heading into the new year. Sorry, I can't read, Jen. I'm not sure if you.
Dex just put he heard that F was for asking about their family.
Oh, well, see different variations. I always ask, I've heard where you're from. So, you know, whatever works. I mean, I've had success because on Instagram, you don't know where people are from sometimes if it doesn't say. And it's just kind of a normal icebreaker to have a conversation with. It's like, hey, you know, where are you from? You know, that sort of thing. Do people want more like verbiage, or?
You guys good?
That was great, because I find it so hard to initiate that conversation, but it's like, just keep it simple. Keep it simple. I'm overcomplicating it.
Yeah, and I did for so long too, Crystal. I'm like, you know, you just get in your head and that is such an easy, normal question to ask to someone that you don't know. And, you know, people on Instagram are there to, you know, make connections and to get followers. And so it's not weird. Like, so yeah.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Did you want to add anything else to that, Sarah? You good?
No, I think I'm pretty good.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. That was amazing. Yeah, I always love little things like this, guys. Like, you always get little tidbits here and there. And so I'm going to go over specifically with you what we did last week at the Badass Business Training. So I've got trainer voice again. Dax is like, I hear you. Like, I haven't had trainer voice in a while, but it's pretty raspy right now. So we're just going to go with it. But just to kind of piggyback on what Sarah's saying, I've been doing that a lot on Instagram lately, is like cold messaging people. And I immediately be like, hey, Crystal, how's it going? You know, thanks for the follow. Or if I'm following them, thanks for accepting me. Where are you from? Then they come back and I'm like, awesome. I just noticed. And in between that time, I've gone through and I've looked at their pictures. I've liked a couple of their photos. And then I'm like, hey, I noticed it looks like you are a teacher or into essential oils or whatever. Tell me more about that. How did you get into that? And it creates a conversation. So we have a short conversation. Sometimes it goes nowhere. Sometimes it continues. But even if it goes nowhere, now they're starting to watch my stories. So I find the more conversations that I get going, and like Sarah said, they're just natural conversations, those people are more inclined now to watch my stories because they're intrigued, like, who is this person and what do I do? And looking at my thing, other than it saying that I'm a personal trainer, you know that it's more than a personal trainer, but you don't really know what it is. So again, it's creating that intriguement. But yeah, like what Sarah was saying, I came back from conference and I was like, I have to change the game. I need consistency in my life. And I've been utterly consistent with my social media, guys. It's funny. One of the girls on my team, I messaged her today and I was like, dude, I'm going to call you out right now. You told me that you wanted this, this, and this. You have not posted one single thing about team. It's all product. So it's lifestyle and product. And this person was like, oh my God, I didn't even realize I haven't even been posting about that. And sometimes it's just getting that extra like happy little push, like kick in the butt, just get on it. It's so easy. And I see other people's social media and I'm like, you guys are all so consistent about social media, but be ballsy and ask questions. The polls are where it's at, guys. Yesterday, I did a boring, basic post on my stories. I'm going to show you how I did it because it's so funny because like some of us don't know how to do it and it's a normal like learning curve. I did a boomerang of my shake. Okay, we've all done pictures of our shakes, and it was like who else gets 20 plants into you for breakfast? That's all I wrote, and I put like every damn day was the yes, and then the other one was no, send me info. I got 2 shake orders out of it. 2 girls that I've never spoken to about Juice Plus. Both of them, funny enough, are both on Vega right now. So, but if I hadn't asked the question, like today, I didn't ask any questions on my Instagram. And so I really like the numbers and the algorithms. I'm down like 100 people watching my stories from last Friday to today because I haven't been asking as many questions. And so really pay attention to that. I don't care how many people are watching my stories, but I'm watching to see how people are interacting with my stuff and what is touching them and what is getting them talking. I did a post last weekend about watching Hallmark movies. I was like, who else like is obsessed with the Hallmark Christmas movies? That has nothing to do with Juice Plus, but guess what? I had like 80 people respond to my poll. Like that's like the most I've ever had respond to my poll. So I know all of those 80 people, they're like watching. They took the time to post. They took the time to vote. So I'm going to actually show you how to do it. So you guys need to open your phones right now. If you're on your phone, obviously you can't open it, but you're going to go into your Instagram. And this is where like, if you want me to slow down, speed up, or you have questions, let me know. Because it's just so valuable. Don't go asking questions every day on a poll, like switch it up. I usually do like every 7th or 8th Instagram story is some kind of poll. So every 2 or 3 days, because I want to keep people intrigued and I want it to be different. The next couple of days what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be asking people questions. So questions, like I'm going to ask them a question and then they're going to give me the responses and I'm going to share it just to get more people watching because it's funny looking at people's responses. So you're going to go into your Instagram and your main page, you've got you as the little icon on the top left-hand side, okay? It's going to say your story, and then there's your cute little picture, right? You're going to click on that little icon, and then you're going to come to the next page, and it's going to say your story on the top left. You're going to click on your story, and sorry if this is repetitive, but I'm telling you, I hear training like this all the time, and I learn something new every time. You're going to click on your story again, and then it's going to bring you to like a blank page where I can either take my photo right now, take a photo of something, or I can upload a photo. So the bottom left-hand corner, there's going to be a little icon. I wish I could like make my phone big. Can you guys unmute your lines just so I can kind of like know it and be like, I'm lost. Like just unmute your lines. Mine doesn't go to the page you said.
Neither does mine.
And what phone are you guys on?
BlackBerry.
iPhone.
A Samsung.
Okay, so I don't know about the BlackBerry. The Samsung should be the same. Okay, so right there, can you see your little icon at the very top?
BlackBerry and Samsung are powered by Android, so they should be the same.
Yeah. And Jim, can you find it on yours?
Well, I've got, when I hit that, when I first hit it, you said, hit your story. That's your picture on there, correct?
Yeah.
I hit that, and in the next screen, I don't know if you can see it.
Yes. So that's where you want to be. So that screen right there
is your story.
Yep. So that's your story. So right now you have the option of taking a sexy pic of Jim and posting that, Janice, or just joking.
with his big gray beard, not.
You're like, oh, my sweet babe. Okay, so you can either take a picture, you can take a picture of somebody, you can take a picture of yourself, or on the bottom left, you should see the little icon that will actually be the last photo that you took in your phone. there should be a little square on the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah. Yes.
Is it there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So click on that.
Here?
Yep.
Okay,
And now it's going to show you all your photos.
Okay, yeah.
Do that.
Do you have it, Janice?
No, because I took a picture of, I hope it's not loading it, of, on the thing.
Everything's deletable.
Yeah, you can just go on and delete it right after. So don't worry, it's all good.
You're in, and
Okay.
you hit the top left, your story, and then you're here. Now you take a pic. Yeah, hit there.
Okay.
That square. And now that's your
Oh,
uploaded
okay.
pictures. Got
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So do you have
Okay.
a picture there, Janice, of like something of Juice Plus or something?
I've got a picture of.
Or like your food?
Yeah, the food dish.
So that's where you would choose your photo, okay? So we're not actually going to do anything, but what I want you to do right now is I want you to choose that photo, okay?
Yeah.
So you're going to click on it, and now that photo is going to bring you, it's going to be on your page. So I'm just choosing like a random photo, and now it's on my page. There's a bunch of icons on the top. So the right-hand side, you're going to see a big A and a little A.
Yeah.
That's where you click on to type it, like to add in text. So hashtag whatever, like what Sarah was saying, or just whatever you want to write on the screen. So today I wrote that my friend Nancy's lost like 60 pounds. So I took a little video of her saying how proud I was of her. Okay. So I clicked on there. I typed it in. That little squiggly line is just to, if I want to do like a heart on my page and I write it with my finger, it allows me to write stuff on the page with my finger. And I'll let you guys play around with this. But the most important part I wanted to show you was this little happy face with the little right-hand corner rolled up. It's like a square icon.
Mhm.
If you click on that, that brings you into a whole other screen. On that screen is where you can add in the polls. You can add questions. You can put a timer countdown. You can do a quiz. The only thing that I use in there myself is the poll. Like Sarah was saying, honestly, last month, I got so many orders last month. And it was just from the polls. That was it. That is the only different thing that I did. I got so many healthy starts. that's normally not my like thing. But I was asking people about chewies and gummies, and it was all from the poll. So if you click on the poll is going to bring it to the page. And then you can ask a question. And so the biggest thing about this, guys, is you don't want to ask a question and then just leave it as yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
You want to leave it open-ended. So I'll give you an example of verbiage. So the one with the shakes, right? So the answers were, do you get 20 plants? Who else gets 20 plants for breakfast? The yes, I clicked on where it says yes, and I typed in every damn day. The no, I put no, send me more info, please. Another example, when I posted for my shred at the end of October, and I got tons of orders for the shred this month. I put like, who's in for the next shred? Feeling crappy or whatever I wrote. And I put hell yes. And the other one was, I'm in for the next one. And that was a great post because it goes into the archive section, which I think I'll give it to Sarah to tell you where the archive section is because I'm going to have to get on to the next call soon. But I can go back if I haven't put it into my Team Z to follow up with these people, because people who are like, I'm in for the next one. Guess what, guys? People who ordered from the first shred post are my immediate customers. The people who are like, I'm in for the next one, I know midway through November, I'm going to hit them up for the next shred, which I've already hit them up for the next shred, which starts in 2 days. So it's really giving you orders at the end of the month and then orders in the in the middle of the next month. Does that make sense? It's like, it's setting me up. I know that like Dax couldn't get in for this shred because Dax was going to a wedding and he legit wanted to give it 150%. But I messaged Dax last week and I'm like, hey Dax, I noticed that you put on my Instagram that you were excited about the next one that you were in. Let's get your stuff ordered because the next shred starts next week. Like you have to be direct. And if you're going onto your Instagram and you're posting stuff and you're not relating it to your business, you're just wasting your time. Mm-hmm. You're doing what I did for so long, which was I was just posting stuff. I wasn't bold enough. I wasn't brave enough to post about our business, about our product. And when I started being bold and asking questions, I'm not barfing in anyone's face. I'm just doing my own life, which I was already doing, but I'm being bold and asking questions. Like coming back from conference, I did 5 or 6 photos. It was like the community, the travel, the friendship, the experience, the health, the whatever, the parties. And then I was like, the next post was like, who's in? Who wants to have fun? That's all I wrote. Who wants to have fun? And I had like 20 something people answer me. So that right there gives you that access to content to start talking about the business, because every single one of us needs to be building our team. And it's very easy to get brave about posting about products. But if you're not posting about the business and asking people questions, they're looking at your stuff all the time. The last thing I wanted to add to before I hop off is what I started doing last week, and it's actually been hilarious, is I'm messaging people and I'm like, hey, Sarah, I totally noticed that you're like at the top of my stalker list. I don't know how Instagram does their algorithms, but you're at the top, which means something. And I feel like we should totally chat about what I'm up to and what you could possibly do with me. And I've had so many cool conversations going on because I'm being bold, because Instagram will never tell us what pushes you up to the top. It's obviously interaction, whether it's private messaging, you looking at their page, them looking at yours, whatever. But I always have the same 20 people at the top of my stalkers list. So I've started messaging them specifically. And if it doesn't turn into anything for team, it allows me a segue to talk more about the product with them. That makes sense? Awesome info, Lise. Thank you. How about hashtags within stories? Yeah. So hashtags within stories are awesome, but they only work if you're a public profile. So if you're a private profile and you're hashtagging anything, those hashtags are going nowhere. Mine was public. It's a long story. I put it to private last week. How do you find your stalker list? Okay, cool. Good questions. So you just add the hashtag right on. So that little large A and small a, I just click on there where the text is, hashtag work from home, hashtag can't believe this is work, whatever it is. That's going to put that story into the hashtags. And then now you're going to see that people that are searching that hashtag can see your story. Your stalker list. So if I go back into my stories, and so I go back into the main page, I click on where it says my story. You guys can't really see this.
Go a little bit closer.
Okay, right there. So see those little 3 icons at the bottom? So those are people that are looking at my story. So I posted that story earlier. It says, hello, I see you scrolling. Did you drink water today? Get some, love you. If I click on where those little 3 icons are, it shows me that I have 591 people that viewed that story today. And it shows you from the top down. So most of them are my best friends. And then it gets into like a couple creepers, but mostly people that I would want to talk to about stuff. But I check that not because I care about who's looking at it for anything else other than this. So I have a girl who's been watching me for months, and I'm like, hey girl, you've been watching me for months. Like, we need to have a chat. We need to talk. I would love to have you on my team. Is this something you'd be down for? And if you're not using your stories for your business, you're just posting fluff. And I did that for a really long time, and it's no offense to anybody, but I was like, why am I taking time to post stories and they're not getting me anything? They're not going anywhere. They're not doing anything. They're showcasing funny things, whatever, but try and mix it up, like a kid post or a lifestyle post or exercise post, and then something funny that happened or a recipe that you love or whatever, like stokes you and gets you excited, and then add those in. Top people are the most people watching. You got it. Sarah, I'm going to put it back to you. Can you take it from here? It's pretty much closing soon anyways. Okay.
Perfect.
Sorry, bye.
Awesome. So do you guys all know, I'm sure most of you do, but just in case you don't, stories they don't stay there forever. So what Jen was talking about is that Melissa Seguin gifted us with a little nugget that you can actually go back and find your stories in your archives. You also have the ability to create highlights that I'm not sure if you guys can see, but see I have here the little icons up there. You can save like some of your favorite stories to certain highlights. So I have a highlight section called family. I have a highlight section called Your Sweet Life. I have a highlight section, Your Sweet Body. So when I post about the shred, I'll save some of my stories to the Your Sweet Body highlight, so it's saved there, because some people that are interested are really watching you. They will go to your feed and they will watch your highlights. So it's nice to keep kind of it's kind of like a portfolio, I guess, of your, well, it's highlights of your life. So archives, because stories don't I think they stay 24 hours, but you can find all of your stories. So if you go to your main profile, so at the bottom of the screen, you have the little house, and on the far right, you have the body there. If you click on that, it brings you to your profile page. At the top right-hand corner, there's 3 lines. If you click on that, the first one is settings, the second one is archives. If you go to that, you will see all the stories that you have posted. And I didn't know this existed, and I've posted polls, 6 months ago. So I scrolled back and saw, I had 6 or 7 people wanting more information on the omegas. So thankfully we can do this, and you can go back and you can look to see who interacted in your story. Is that clear for everyone? It's 9:02. Does anyone have any specific questions?
So this is recorded, right, Sarah? So we can go.
Yes, Nikki is recording it.
Yeah. I just need to go through it again.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No.
And it does take time. It does take time. Like, I remember learning stories, and you just kind of have to fiddle with it. And sometimes like, oh crap, I just posted something and deleted, and it takes time, but it is easy once you keep doing it.
Okay. I did post that one picture of us on Instagram at the beginning of my story, because I didn't know how to keep adding to your stories, but I see now every time you go in there and add a story, it just keeps adding on to the first.
Exactly.
How do I go and delete that one?
Yeah, so if you go up to if you go to the home page and you click your story, when that picture comes up, there's the 3 little dots on the bottom right. If you click on that, the first one is delete.
Okay. Maybe I should just go and add something about my team.
Yeah, exactly. And if you find someone else's story, or I follow a really amazing spiritual girl, her name's Vanessa Petronelli. I love her posts. Like, I love them. So you can go onto whoever's page and on their post. So let's just say this is like her recent post. There's a little paper airplane looking thing there. If you click on it, you can add that to your story. And then this is what I do, because I love her and I kind of want her to watch me. So I put add to my story, and I'll say follow her, and then I will tag her in her post. So I've added this. This is her post to my story. Okay. So I'm going to go to that double A. So I'm going to write text. So love her. I'm just no, I'm not actually going to post this, but so I've wrote love her, and then you can tag her in it. So if you go down to your little 1, 2, 3, or I think everybody's keyboard is different depending on what phone you have, but you're going to pick the @ sign. And then her handle, her Instagram handle. So I'll start typing her name, and then all of the stuff, all the people that would have VAN in them pops up, but I know she's the first one, so Vanessa. And so I've tagged her in that. So that is going to show up in her story.
Okay.
In her message. And then she has the, so I'm helping her, right? Because people are going to be curious about her. But she's now going to be watching me. Okay. Right? And then she has the option to share that to her story.
Okay. And so, once you posted a story, can you go back and add comments on it, or no?
Once it's sent, it's sent. But you can how some people do it. So I'm not sure if you've seen people's stories. Like a picture will come up, and then a word will flash across, and then the next story another word flashes across, and then the next story another on the same picture. So how you do that is that you use the same picture, you just add different text to that picture. So it looks kind of neat because it's the same picture in the background, but every time you hit the next story, another word comes up. Does that make sense?
Not sure.
Yeah, it's hard to explain like verbally. But when I do the next one like that, I'll tell you to watch my story so you can see what I mean.
Okay.
Simon and Megan, sorry. How do you add layer stories to multiple stories? Yeah. So I think Janice just asked that. So how you do that is that you just would click. So if you click your story, I'll just go to the last one. You would just go back to that same spot and just add to the next one, and then go back and add the next one. If you do so if you click on there, and you can also do a boomerang, which are very popular on stories, or you could do you could do like a video. So there's a timer on your video. So once that timer runs out, it goes to the next story automatically.
Okay, when you put the boomerang, how do you work it then?
Yep, so if you click on the little camera at the top there on your main page.
On your main page.
Oh.
So yeah, go back to the home.
Back, right, okay, on your top, yeah.
There's no camera there.
Up at the top, there's no camera in the...
Not on my story, no.
No. So get out of your stories and just go back on the home page.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you gotta go back. You're still...
No, that's my home page, right?
I don't think it is.
So that's your personal profile. Go back to the home.
Okay.
So at the bottom, there's a little house.
Yep.
So click that.
Okay. Yep.
And see the little camera at the top?
Yep.
So click that. And then you'll see at the bottom, create, there's a live. So people do lives.
Okay.
Not a lot of people watch it. Stories about, a lot of people don't even listen. Like people have music and stuff. I mean, my sound is always off on my stories. So lives I have heard that are not really useful. Okay. Normal, so that way you could just take a picture, or you could do a video, or and then the next one's boomerang. Okay. So what we all could do right now and take a boomerang of everyone is like go like this or something, if everyone wants to do that, or I'll do it. And so then it boomerangs whatever you're doing, and then you can add text to it. You can add, I like doing, I don't even know what the correct term is, GIFs. So where Jen told you where the little square with the foldy thing, if you click on that, you can do everything. So there's the poll that Jen was talking about, but the GIF is fun. Like I always use the GIFs in a lot of my stories just to add personality to them. So if you go in the search, you can type anything. So I posted a picture of my husband's job site. He's building a nice big house. So I took a picture and I'm like, proud wifey. And in the search, I searched hammer, because he is building the house. And then it does all these fun little hammer GIFs. and then you select it, and then it goes on your picture, just to add personality to it. I use a lot of arrows. So if I, have a really powerful, funny quote or something, I'll just use an arrow like pointing to it, just to add something to it. Countdown, I always use the countdown one if we're going to conference, or, I'll find a Phoenix it seems far away, but I'm really, looking forward to it. But like when it gets closer, I'll have like probably a really nice picture of Phoenix, or maybe a picture of the team when we were there the last, and then I'll put a countdown clock on it.
Oh, there's a GIF.
Yeah. You can do, if you keep scrolling past the boomerang, you can put like funny glasses on yourself, a cat face. A lot of people do live videos with like silly things like that. Does anyone have any other questions about stories? Steph, were you able to find it on your phone? Yeah. Was that helpful, Steph? Yeah.
Just lots of practice now.
Yeah, and it does. It really does. Like you have to fiddle with it, that's for sure. But once you get the hang of it, it's fun. And it's literally what Jen said. Like, don't overthink it. Like, just post. The couple that owned the social media company that I was working with, she said, the trust is in repetitiveness. So you might think like you're barfing, but it's just your life. So take a boomerang of your shakes every day. Take a boomerang of your capsules in your hand. The boomerang is really, I always use the boomerang with the capsules. So I'll go like this with the capsules in my hand. So the boomerang makes it like funny. You guys always are making beautiful food. Post that. You guys have, beautiful scenery. It doesn't always have to be Juice Plus, but like what Jen said, I can't stress enough. This is an amazing resource to reach so many people. And if we're not utilizing it to build our business, like why even bother, right? We want to showcase your family and all the other stuff, but really, really integrate the business and the product along with it. Because it has worked. The polls are definitely where it's at. And like Jen, I really stress that too. Like, don't ask a yes or no question. Either question is going to be a yes, right? So it's very, very, it helped my business last month for sure. And people that I would never even thought have been watching me and wanted information. So it's like, it's funny. It's people, I feel like, fear reaching out to you personally. Like, can I have more information? So we hide behind social media a little bit. And these polls, I guess, just give them the courage or something to say yes. So use them. And I said this in my training. I feel like I got really overwhelmed with social media because you feel like you have to have all this new content. If you see a good idea in a story from Jen, use it. Just use your own pictures. Use the exact same questions. That's what this is about. Like, sharing, and you don't ever have to ask me to borrow anything. Whatever I post is shareable. And use ideas. If you like an idea of a story that someone, like the post that Jen was talking about when we came back from conference, do you like to have more fun? Do you like to, you know, travel. Like I used the exact same story, just my own pictures. So don't recreate the wheel. If you see something that, you know, you resonate with and that you like, just use it. Huh? Oh, reinvent the wheel. My husband's correcting me.
That was awesome. Thank you so much.
We want to recreate the wheel.
Yeah, no problem, guys. And it's good to understand. It's amazing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what Nikki said, for sure. Exactly. They have team definitely helping them build their business. But make it fun. It is fun. It allows you to be a little bit creative too, right? I like being creative. Awesome, guys. Have a good night. And if you guys have come across any questions or like, oh, Sarah, I totally forgot where you know, said this was, just shoot me a message. I'm always here. Bye, guys.